Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a soul tribe reading. I hope you guys are all doing well. First of all, I want to thank Delia for this crystal. I opened up my mailbox yesterday and this crystal was in it. You're so sweet. You're such a sweet soul, and I love this crystal. I've never seen one. It's Angel Aura Amethyst. So anyway, thank you so much, and I'm going to keep it in my setup right here. You also sent me decks that I am going to be using, but today I wanted to use this deck, which is one that I just got, and it's called the Past Life Energy Oracle. And I really wanted to use it with you guys. So I hope you're doing well. I've been, I haven't been around too much, but it's because I've been spending a lot of time on like healing and working on myself and all of those things. I found that full moon pretty intense. It's still intense. I wanted to do readings yesterday, but I actually spent the afternoon in my bed crying instead. Anyway, like I said, I've been spending a lot of... Ooh, that reminds me, I forgot to write in my gratitude journal this morning. Interesting. I've been doing that every day religiously, and this morning I forgot to. Interesting. Anyway. I've really been working on, healing and growth and working, nurturing the relationships that I have in my life right now seems to be what I'm feeling called to focus on. Anyway, whenever I don't do a reading for you guys, I feel like I just feel like I didn't get to do the thing that brings me the most joy. Like, this is what I love to do. Anyway, so I wanted to come on and do a reading with you. We have leadership right away. Anyway, I don't think I'm gonna try and explain all the cuts in this one. I think I'm just gonna talk to you while I'm shuffling. I was looking at this deck myself, and I pulled a card about anxiety and about fear. And it was talking about how perhaps, if you have a fear of public speaking, perhaps it's because this is a past life deck. Perhaps in a past life, this is really interesting. It talked about execution. It talked about being in a public execution, and maybe that's why you have such a fear of expressing your truth. Maybe, for some reason I'm thinking of witches. I'm thinking of the Salem witch trials. I often say that if people, like if we were living back then, like I wouldn't be here right now. I wanted to thank, there was a certain commenter who left me some constructive criticism, and it really sat with me. They said that when I say things like that's crazy, that it's putting like a negative energy out there, and I completely agree, I feel like it's a form of gaslighting myself, and they suggested replacing the word crazy with cosmic, and I'm just going to tell you that comment meant a lot to me, friend, whoever you are. So I'm going to try and retrain myself to say cosmic instead of crazy. Anyway, I don't know what my point was. I was also having, like, right before I started this reading, I was listening to music, and I was having these weird downloads about specifically some Disney songs, specifically how I just started thinking about the song A Whole New World, and how he's asking her to come on a magic carpet, like, a magic carpet. And the song, if you listen to the lyrics, to me, it's very symbolic. As someone who like wants to shine their light and wants to help awaken people, the concept of that take my hand, come on this magic carpet ride, and let me show you this world, and you'll see it in a way that you never saw it before. I'm not saying I'm Aladdin. I'm saying that I see in that song there's a lot of songs that I'm listening to right now that are really coming across as spiritual to me. Especially that one. I can show you the world shining, shimmery, splendid. You know, she's seen this world before, but he's going to show, and I'm not talking about love, he's going to show her the world through new eyes. He talks about changing her point of view. There's the guy on the bike, if that's symbolic to anyone. Anyway, I don't know. I'm like, if you guys know what it's like when your third eye is open, it's really hard to, it's like looking, how can I describe this? I used to watch my baby cousin, who was like 9 months old, the baby, looking at everything with such awe and wonder. And I remember looking at her thinking, it's amazing how this baby is just looking at everything with like just amazement. Like everything is magical to this little baby. And that's kind of what it feels like when your third eye opens and you can see through the veil and you see how pointless some things are, and how some lower vibrational energy is so pointless. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now, but it's interesting being awakened and looking at this world in a whole new light, you know? Anyway, some of those Disney songs were on to something. like Into the Unknown. Anyway, I don't know what my point was. Let's keep shuffling. We have passion, spirit connections. Maybe you're making spiritual connections. If you haven't yet, actually wait until the new moon when you're working on intentions and manifestations, but manifest yourself a spiritual friend, I'm telling you. I know it sounds like I'm telling you to order something off of Amazon. You can manifest anything you want. The only one stopping you is you. Now I can see why like people along the way stopped talking to me and told me that I was too positive. Anyway, cut it out. We have wealth, abundance, entitlement. So right before, listen, this is so interesting. Right before I started this reading, when I was having that download about Aladdin and a whole new world, and let me show you this world from this magic carpet ride, you coming from a place where you've seen it from the eyes of being rich and having wealth. Anyway, this other song started playing. That's a very new song. I don't know what song it is. I can't tell you right now. Or could I? No, my iPad's dead. I couldn't. But it was talking about shifting your mindset from money abundance to everything else being your abundance. You know, the time that you spend with your loved ones, the moments you have with your friends, that is your abundance. Anyway, I just think it's interesting that this came out because I don't know what this card is about, you know, but I was just talking about take my hand and let me show you this world in a whole new light. And he's talking to Jasmine, who's lived as a princess her entire life. You know, when I think of wealth and abundance, I think of emotional abundance. That's what it is for me. And I can tell you that gratitude journal, that's what I mean. I've been looking around at everything in my life that has nothing to do with material things or money or any of that, and have extreme gratitude for it. The friendships that I'm building, the connections with my kids, every single moment I have with my kids, you know? Anyway, I don't know what this card is about. 2, High Priestess energy. So, your affirmation: I open my life to all of the abundant blessings and wealth the universe has to offer. I know that I deserve it. And I'm just gonna bring it up again. The power of the way that you look at your life. Like, if you look at your life as it's always a struggle, and I, like, after everything that I've done, and I've done this, and the universe still doesn't provide for me, and that negative mindset will continue to manifest negativity and struggles into your life. It's changing your mindset. And I know that some people are triggered when I say that, because I used to be triggered by people that said that. I used to, I honestly, I was watching Aaron Doughty yesterday, and everything he says is true. And that's the thing. When I used to watch him, I used to think, this guy sounds like an infomercial, like that you would see, back in the olden days on TV. If you just believe, it'll all come true. But I was watching it yesterday after awakening and understanding what he's talking about, and everything he says is true. Anyway, shift your mindset and you can transform your life. I just can't stress that enough. Coming from a family where my parents have a very negative mindset, my siblings still struggles with that negative mindset, and acting like the world is out to get you, that continues to manifest in your life. And I feel like that just my mindset, I'm going to lose people in my life, but there's something about this timeline shift that I keep talking about. And it's cosmic, not crazy. I know it sounds cosmic, because it is. But I honestly feel that pull on lower vibrational energy right now. You're either going to get stuck in that other timeline where everything sucks and the world is out to get you, or you can, come up here on this magic carpet ride and experience life in a whole new way. Anyway, let's get going. You have led a number of lifetimes where money was not a problem for you. You may have even been a titled person, such as a lord or lady, baron or baroness, or even a king or queen. If recent times have not been as bountiful as you would like, this card is revealing greater fortune coming your way. A project you've been working on or an investment you've made is about to pay off. But if this card is near the reversal of fortune, which it's not, it could indicate a recent financial loss or limitation that has been especially hard to handle. Don't give up. This card is indicating that this is the perfect time to shift any patterns of financial limitation. And even the mindset. Shift your mindset. Again, I used to watch people who were like, shift your mindset, transform your life. And I was like, okay, you're crazy. Again, my higher self knew something I did not at that time. But it's true. And I remember being triggered when people would tell me that. Anyway, I don't think I've ever been wealthy in a past life. I don't know about that. I feel like I come from, in this lifetime, and I believe in the past I came from, poverty, I guess you would, is that what you call it? I mean, interesting. So, shift any patterns of financial limitation. This includes the inability to get or keep a job. If you are a nobleman or a person of leisure, you might be unaccustomed to working, and that pattern may be showing up now in a different way. You may even feel some old sense of entitlement that says you shouldn't have to work, so you resist and resent that necessity in this life. If that's the case, open your heart to the willingness to work at a career that you enjoy. Your wealthy history will be reawakened. It's really interesting that I was talking about my family, and I just, this is how I share, so this is just how I'm going to continue to share. But in my family, there was a lot of this sense of entitlement, especially when it came to seeing other people succeed. So, for example, my old boss, very successful, invested in a company when he was young, worked very hard, was at work at like 6:37 every morning, was one of the last ones to leave. He was the boss, so everybody, hated him. He was stingy they all called him stingy with his money for whatever reason. I don't know. It was none of my business. But I saw like what a good work ethic that he had. And over time, he evolved and grew that business. And I can remember when he sold the house that, he was in for like 30 years, he sold it and bought a new house in the city, and his family moved to the city into this very nice house. And, he started to enjoy some of that wealth that he had accumulated over all those years of working hard. And I can remember my mom and dad were so mad about it. Like they were just they felt like just their attitude towards it, like he didn't deserve it, and oh, he's just rich, and just this negative mindset, like, oh, of course he lives in that nice house while you got, like, my mom and I work together, while you guys are working like dogs in his company. Was he not there working? Like, was he not there doing all the things that a boss does, all the paperwork, all the banking, all of those hours that he put in? Anyway, thinking back to it, I remember my parents having that type of attitude. And even, I'm going to admit, my dad having this attitude of like, well, I shouldn't have to work. This is soul tribe reading, so I'm going to be brutally honest, but my dad had a tower moment where he walked away from a career that he wasn't happy in. And then that set the tone for the years to come of having no financial stability, there was no money coming in. And then he was resentful to the world that he had nothing and that he was struggling, and that he should be entitled to more. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I do come from that in my family. Anyway, interesting. No matter what's going on, consciously choose to increase the gratitude in your life. What was I saying? Gratitude journal. I was saying showing gratitude for things that aren't monetary, and then when they are, showing gratitude for that too. There's a lot of people that believe that when you show gratitude for the finances you have and you're grateful every time you can afford to buy something, that the universe rewards you. Again, I know that sounds cosmic to some of us out there, but it's truth. That was one of the major breakthroughs on my healing journey, was the way that I viewed money, because I grew up in a very poor household where, it's funny because I'm looking at this Two of Swords staring at me from across the way. And I grew up in a household where there was a choice. We could buy food, or the addictions could be fed, cigarettes, alcohol. And most of the time, cigarettes and alcohol came first. And my sister and I inherited that mindset. And then to make it worse, I'm just trying to describe how I reflect on some of this stuff so that maybe you can. To make it worse, my sister and I grew up with trauma around money and spending it. So even if I did have a little bit of money, I would never spend it. And if I did, I would feel awful, because of the way we grew up. So it took a long time for me when I started my channel and I started to receive, some financial abundance in my life a little bit. It took me a long time to be open to receiving it. I was very closed off. Again, huge trauma wound there. So maybe there's a trauma wound around money. It took me 39 years to believe that it was all right if I invested in towels and like plates and things like that with my money. Because when I was growing up, that was not the priority. No. That was luxury to have those things. Anyway. So, increase gratitude in your life. Even if finances are a little scant right now, take time to focus on all the blessings in your life, big and small. Also be more conscious of how you spend your money. Wealthy past lives can be a source of indiscriminate spending in this life. Make money choices that honor you, and increased blessings will come your way. I was just telling you guys the other day how I had such a hard time buying myself a bracelet. It was like, no, I couldn't possibly treat myself to a bracelet. That's how warped my view on that kind of stuff was. Anyway, so maybe you need to, be more open to abundance in your life. And if you are working a job where you're struggling, it could be a sign that it's not your life's purpose to be at that job. I loved photography, but it drove me crazy. Dealing with the people drove me crazy. The editing drove me crazy. The interactions with the people, especially like I used to do newborn photography and people used to call me the baby whisperer because I just had a way with babies. I still, like, when I'm out in public, babies just like smile at me. But I realized like I wasn't happy in my job, and actually financially it wasn't paying the bills either. Anyway, my whole point, I know I mention it a lot, but finding your soul path, finding your soul purpose, and then putting energy into doing that. I was watching a video by that Aaron Doughty guy yesterday, however you pronounce it, and he was saying how when he realized that he could manifest the things he wanted, it was when he was like working a 9-to-5 day job, and he realized he wanted to be a creator and he wanted to help people. So what he did was he started treating that creator job as a full-time job, started treating that as a career that was giving him financial security and a paycheck every week, even though it wasn't. And he continued to work his 9-to-5. And what he found was that when he was at his 9-to-5, his soul felt depleted. And then when he was creating content, he felt alive and full of life. He used that as abundance, that feeling of fulfillment. And eventually that abundance that he built from what his soul wanted to do has completely transformed his life. Now he's living his soul path, Anyway, that's the shift that I went through when I jumped ship on photography. I started treating this as a full-time job. I started putting up readings. I started making more readings. I started investing my time even though nothing was happening, believing that it would happen, treating it like it was a job that was already paying me. And it was so quick that I realized how unfulfilled my soul was in my everyday job. And guys, as someone who's been through it, the abundance comes in. Fulfillment comes in. I just keep hearing Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. Anyway, let's see what you need to hear. I'm going to take the top one only. We have intelligence, mental action, right thinking, resourcefulness. And the one underneath is 19, which is, the sun, divine masculine energy. And we have love, healing, and miracles. Beautiful. I think one of the hardest things for me right now is I'm just looking at, like, when you can see through the veil, you can see all the things that are programmed thinking and fear and bullshit, you know? Things that are meant to scare us, things that are meant to make us conform. I have no idea why I'm saying that. All right, 96. Interesting. I love numbers. This card marks a time of increased mental acuity for you. You have had great ideas in past lives, and the intellect to make your ideas into reality is still with you. You may have even achieved some fame or prestige through your accomplishments. In fact, your subtle memories of those achievements may be leaving you feeling a bit frustrated in this life, as if you should be doing something more or garnering greater recognition. This card reveals the capabilities you have to make those higher dreams you have a reality, but you can't just wish for them. You have to trust yourself and follow your desires through the maze of thought and action that may be required. And what were we just talking about? I was specifically talking about how taking, like, believing in that dream and then taking the down-to-earth plans and actions to go towards it, and you have to trust that it's going to reward you. You have to treat it, you know how people are always saying, treat it like it's already yours, pretend your romantic partner is already with you. Treat it like it's already a job, treat it like it's already... Does that make sense? Am I making any sense? Anyway. Wally confirms. You have the heart, the mind, and the heart to succeed, my friend. As I was reading that line, Wally gave a little squeak. A limiting perception of yourself could be preventing you from getting started. You may see yourself as ill-equipped to handle the great tasks you'd like to achieve. This is especially likely if the self-doubt card shows up. So remember this, your intellect must not only apply to external tasks you face, but also to your conclusions about yourself. To support your intellectual pursuits, you must make sure you are thinking clearly about yourself and your inner strengths. Right thinking is a process of weeding out false limitations. In fact, your greatest achievement could be believing in your own resourcefulness once and for all. And I've been constantly saying to, like, my partner and to myself, the only one stopping you is you. You know, like, I am very dedicated to showing gratitude every day and, like, working out. And I'll come downstairs and my partner will be like, oh, I should really work out. And I'll say, the only one stopping you is you. He's used to it. And that limiting perception of yourself, programmed thinking, that fear that you're not good enough, programmed thinking, the fear that you still have learning to do before you can put yourself out there, programmed thinking. I'm serious. Just take the leap. Just act as if... I think he was talking about shifting timelines too in the video I was watching, or maybe that was another one. I started watching a lot of them. But if you have a dream to be a successful creator, I'm just going to use creator as, like, a really bad, broad term here. But if you have the dream to be a creator and to help people or heal people, that version of you already exists in a timeline. You just have to connect to it, if that makes sense. If you have some big ideas, did I already read this? No, I didn't. If you have some big ideas, trust in your capabilities and your intellect. Empty your mind and meditate on your own heart center. Feel the expansiveness of universal mind filling you up, bringing you ideas and personal strength. Know that the resourcefulness of all eternity is vibrating within you, waiting to shine in all that you do. Your affirmation: I open my mind to the wisdom and inspiration of the universe. I believe in myself and in my ability to excel and achieve all that I desire. I'm getting, like, Page of Swords energy. from this card, which is making me feel the need to read you something. Hang on. Somebody sent me a meaning of the Page of Swords today. Where is it? So I have to find it. Yeah. Sharp mind, new strategy, clear direction, intentional. The Page of Swords and the Weaver are two figures with undeniably sharp minds. The card appears when you are in a poignant, how do I say that, moment to manifest future paths. Remember, I was just talking about timelines. You have your choice of timelines. The powerful mind of the page has altered the tale of the beast into a gathering of butterflies, while the Weaver tells a new story. You are strategic and can weave together tales into tangible realities. Be intentional with your thoughts and you will find clear direction. And again, I know that when I say be positive, change your intentions, show gratitude, I know that for some people I'm triggering people when I'm saying that, and that is lower vibrational energy that you're feeling. Again, I used to feel it when I still hear it when I still feel it when, I'm just looking for something while I talk to you. I still feel it when I come across readings where a reader says something that triggers me. Spirit's sending me down a rabbit hole right now. Hang on. I've learned to trust Spirit when I'm guided down a rabbit hole. Now I feel the need to look at the Page of Swords in here, even though it's that meaning that I just read to you is from the same maker, but I feel the need to read you the one my friend sent me. Intentional, manifesting future. Knees pressed into the snow. A winged woman weaves glistening threads into her loom. As she works magic with her hands, the threads whip around in elegant ribbons in the cold winter air. The Weaver is a master storyteller and uses the power of the mind to craft tales and stories that captivate even the least interested audiences. The Weaver designs intricate tales that spin together into beautiful dances. When this card appears, it indicates that now is a good time to begin developing what you hope to manifest in the near future. The Weaver can represent a powerful mind, one that is inspiring and extraordinary. Remember to be thoughtful with what you hope to achieve. A little exaggeration makes a story sing, but be careful not to weave a tale too hard to maintain. So I'm hearing set realistic goals, you know? My goal when I started out was like 200 views a video. That was my goal. I started real small. And don't compare yourself to other people, okay? Because you could be comparing yourself to someone who's been on their journey for like 5 freaking years. I also wanted to say, for those of you, what I've noticed recently is a bunch of tarot readers coming onto YouTube from TikTok. And I think it's because there's this like looming threat that they're going to take away TikTok. But be careful, you know, not like if you see someone like that blow up on YouTube in a short time, it's because they're bringing another platform with them. Okay. So be careful not to be comparing yourself to new people on YouTube who have blown up because they brought another platform with them. I felt the need to say that. I don't know why. Yeah. So let's get you another card. Did I read the affirmation? I'm going to read it again. I open my mind to the wisdom and inspiration of the universe. I believe in myself and in my ability to excel and achieve all that I desire. So let's get another one. That one came out right away. We have idyllic. How do you say that? Memories. Peace and tranquility. 1. Magician energy. I was actually going to say we have 31 here, which is Empress and Magician energy. It's going to be loud for a minute. One of my dogs just returned home. So right away, look at this affirmation. I was just talking about how I used to be triggered by people who were like, just be happy, just think positive. This affirmation, I have the power to create happiness every day and I make the choice to do so. And that is true. Like, I'm just going to give myself as an example. I could choose to sit around and be sad every day. Or I could choose to be thankful for like my dogs that show me love. Or the fact that a bird landed near me today, you know? It's working with what you've got. I'm thinking 9 of Pentacles energy, realizing that everything you need is within you. Hang on. I had to pause it because it just got too loud. This card indicates a lovely past life energy that was largely beneficial and pleasant for you. An idyllic, how do you say that? Life contains loving relationships, financial comfort, and general good health. You have a subtle memory of that experience, and maybe you feel something is missing this time around. This card is telling you, however, that it's not too late to achieve that peaceful life. In fact, now is the time to work on resolving the present difficulty. A solution is closer than you think, so clear the distractions and doubts from your mind and investigate all of your options for bringing more peace into your life. You deserve an idyllic life, and you have the power to take action that will bring greater fulfillment and peace to your daily experiences. If this card is near a relationship card, or if you are thinking about a relationship, it could indicate a strong attachment filled with fond memories from a past life. This may increase feelings of longing, but it doesn't necessarily mean you are meant to be together this time around. Take some idyllic time for yourself every day, even if it's just 10 minutes of meditating or relaxing to music. Shut out your worries and visualize a peaceful, happy life. When you do so, you may even see or sense some details about your pleasant experiences from the past. You will also create a tranquil, receptive energy that will open your mind and your life to the beneficial solutions that are right around the corner. And if you guys are into, signs from the universe and messages from the universe and communicating with your spirit guides, music is an excellent way to do that. And the more you believe in that beautiful connection with spirit and the way that spirit communicates with you, the more they communicate. I always say that. Listening to like a random shuffle on whatever music thing you listen to, very good idea, especially if you're looking for answers about something. Anyway, remember, you have the power to create happiness every day, and you make the choice to do so. I'm having this memory of, I was like 17 and I was depressed and my mom was awakening. It was like she awakened for 1 year and that was it. And I can remember her saying to me, you can choose to be happy. I was like really depressed. And she was like, you can choose to be happy. You have the choice. I choose to be happy. And I remember at the time it really triggered me because I was in such a low vibrational energy. Anyway, I don't know why that just came to mind. Oh, look, I opened right up. I opened right up to it. That is magic. I was just going to say 12 Hanged Man energies. So maybe you're, maybe you're not as active in your creative endeavors right now. Like I was talking about, I'm very focused on reflection right now. So maybe you are finding that you're in a bit of a pause, or just Hanged Man energy, shifting your perspective. This card indicates past life pursuits and healing. There have been many modalities of healing through the ages. Most indigenous people have had medicine, men and women who were in charge. Hang on, let me start again. Most indigenous people had medicine, men and women who were in charge of the ceremonies that brought health to the individuals and to their group. People have worked with herbs and other natural remedies through the ages. Even astrology was at one time an important part of the healer's approach. So if you find yourself being called to these or other modalities, you have certainly engaged in something similar in your past life. Hello, my light workers. Hello. My whole life, I was like, I'm meant to help people. Like, I'm meant to do something, which was so funny because, again, my upbringing was not like Pollyanna. Anyway, my upbringing wasn't like all sunshine and roses. But for some reason, I always had this inner knowing that I wanted to help people. And I used to get a lot of fulfillment from, when I was a photographer, from working with kids who parents would call difficult and label as difficult and hard to control and hard to take a photo of. People would contact me and say, I hear you're known for trouble, like for the busy ones. I hear you're known for making nice photos out of impossible situations. And truly, it's because it fulfilled me to interact with those kids that their parents deemed as difficult and didn't want to look at the camera and didn't want to stand and pose. And you know what? That's the most beautiful photos I got were candid photos. Like, I always loved candid photos. I'm not a fan of like, look at me and smile, cheese. Anyway, I always felt like in my small way that I was fulfilling something there when I would help these families who, labeled their kids as impossible to get photos of. But seriously, maybe you are someone who has this inner knowing that you're meant to help people, that you're meant to guide people. Because in a past life, that's exactly what you did. Your soul remembers those experiences and is excited to relive them in some way. Even if you don't choose healing as a profession, you may feel gratified in personally pursuing one of the many practices available today, such as Reiki, energy medicine, essential oils, nutrition, naturopathy, and many more for your own personal use. This card is also heralding a time of personal healing and cleansing coming your way. I have to laugh because I've been doing nothing but personal healing and cleansing. Like, I smell like sage now. Like, my clothes smell like sage now. Whether through alternative or mainstream medicine, resolving a physical problem is also likely at this time. In fact, this card reveals the potential for greater health and balance in many areas of your life. You have the power to heal right now, and you have the experience of lifetimes to guide you to the optimal health and happiness you desire. It's time to awaken the healer within. Not only do you have the memories of past life curative powers, but you also have the light and vibrant flow of divine consciousness moving through you. First, focus on healing yourself. Become more conscious of any imbalance through your thoughts and behaviors. Choose foods, movements, and activities that honor you. And as you weave these self-loving choices into your life, explore the healing modalities that call to your heart. Even the simplest technique could make a wonderful difference. It could open your history and bathe you in the light of eternal healing. So I'm just being called to talk really briefly about how when I started awakening, the first thing that happened was of course, I got interested in tarot. someone who was in my life was spiritually awakened, said, you know, you should check out this tarot reading. And from the moment I started watching that reading, I was hooked. And I felt a call to like do small things like invest in crystals and things like that. And there was a familiarity there. Anyway, there was just something about here, even the simplest technique, even just buying yourself a deck of tarot cards, just one deck, buying yourself some crystals. I used to look at like Esotero's readings and I'd be like, oh my gosh, look at how many crystals she has and how many cards she has. I could never do that again. I was the only one stopping myself. And why was I comparing myself to a tarot reader that had been around for 3 years and who knows how long before that, spiritually awakening and collecting cards and crystals? Anyway, you can start small. And you know, if you're called to pretty crystals, get some. You don't need to know what they mean. I can already hear people like, well, you should really know what they mean. Well, yeah, sure. But I always chose crystals by energy. When I was first... That's how I chose everything when I was first awakening. I still, anything that I buy, it's through energy and feeling. It's not because I need that one. You know, any crystal you see here, I chose because of the energy it held, like this one. Anyway. I am healed by the love and light of divine consciousness, and I can bring that healing energy to others in my life. Beautiful. So I'm actually going to stop there, and I'm going to get these. I use these cards a lot in, this is the book that I was reading from earlier for you with the Page of Swords. I feel called to get them for you, but this is the deck that I use. I separate it a lot for pick a card readings, so I'm not sure how I'm feeling about reversals. I'm going to take them intuitively, I believe, just because I don't know what... I feel this deck needs some shuffling before we pull from it. Because like I said, I usually have this deck divided by court cards, minor arcana, major arcana. Are you kidding? That was the first card I even paid attention to when I was cutting them, and it's the Page of Swords, which is the one I read to you. You see? Spirit guided me to that deck for a reason. I'm shuffling a little bit differently. What are you? I need to know what this is. It's the Emperor. Isn't that interesting? The Emperor is all about having, you know, is all about having the confidence to put yourself out there, to go after what you want, to believe you're worth it. I'm feeling called to read that, so I'm going to read it. So we have the Eight of Cups on the bottom. And where'd that book go? So the Emperor, control, focused growth, influential structure. So here's the card. This is Mirror Visions, and you can find it on Tarot Stack. Worth it. I love this deck. It's like 2 in 1. It reminds me of like when I was a kid, you know, in the 80s and 90s, and they had holographic cards. The other day when I was using this deck, and I couldn't figure out what kind of like childhood memory I was having with the print on this, and I finally figured it out, and nobody cared. I was sitting in my family room, And I finally figured out what this reminded me of, and I yelled it out, and nobody knew what the heck I was talking about. But it reminds me of Pogs. Do you guys remember Pogs? Huh? Pogs? Pogs with the slammers? Man, I should get myself some Pogs. I used to collect them. I used to have reboot ones. The Emperor and the Pelican strive on structure and control. The Pelican grants access to the spirit plane, but only to souls who have done the work to get there. If this card comes up, it is a sign of power and focused growth. Well, look at you, my friend. If you find yourself in a state of power, be sure to maintain your softness. Beautiful. So I'm actually going to take that card. The Pelican could be a sign. All right, I was going to look at the Eight of Cups. I was hearing, releasing everything, everyone that no longer serves your energy. And sometimes, when we rise above or we jump timelines, not everyone's meant to come with us. The Eight of Chalices and Lotuses can be a card of confusion. So we see... Right here we see an elder, it says, an elder approaching an ominous fog as a whale dances above submerged ruins. Interesting. So this is the whale one. A whale dances above submerged ruins. So this one to me is really... giving that energy of walking into the unknown, like I'm hearing into the unknown. Anyway, interesting. You should listen to that song. Walking into the unknown, walking into new experiences, perhaps a new job, perhaps new relationships, leaving behind, what no longer serves you, what's no longer aligned with you. Both of these scenes feel otherworldly. If you've selected escapism as your coping mechanism, this card shows up to let you know that the disillusionment you have been feeling is not without warrant. If something has brought more confusion than clarity, perhaps it is time to leave it behind. All right. So... let's see what you need to hear today, my friend. Okay. We have the Two of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. Oh my goodness gracious. What is happening here? So Ten of Pentacles, my friends, I just have to say that I'm getting like a really strong message from this reading, and it is about... for some of you, putting this plan of a dream into motion, having the confidence, the Emperor energy to do so. 31 also equals 4 Emperor energy. And with the Ten of Pentacles, I feel like it's going to bring you long-term stability, whatever this is. It's going to bring you long-term financial stability, which I was saying, once you get on your soul path, believe it or not, that's what happens when you start living your soul purpose. I keep hearing, I have a dream from Tangled. So what is your dream? Because that's what your soul wants you to be doing. That's where abundance is for you. So, oh my gosh, I just said the Tower, I just said I was hearing, I have a dream from Tangled. Seriously. Look at that tower. And look at that. Maybe your dream is that. Maybe your dream is, a family. Maybe your dream is financial stability for your family. Ten of Pentacles, very interesting. I'm hearing that your soul path could bring, there's a word for it, generational, not inheritance, but kind of generational wealth, which means your soul path could be leading you to being able to provide for your children and their like generations to come. Especially with that empire energy, you know, an empire that will thrive long after you're gone is what I'm hearing. It could also be that whatever this thing is that you're supposed to be focusing on and putting your energy into, and this dream you're supposed to be working towards is going to bring you your happily ever after. Perhaps even, you know, I could see this like maybe you're a counterpart who's being called to focus on your soul path. And perhaps focusing on your soul path will help bring this Two of Cups in, you know? It could be that you're feeling called to switch jobs or change careers because you have a soulmate waiting for you in that other job or career, waiting to align with you. Beautiful. I'm going to read that card. 10 of Pentacles. Full potential, financial abundance, achievement, fulfillment. Anyway, very interesting. The 10 of Pentacles and trees illustrates a moment of realized potential. The jeweled tower exists in harmony with the natural world, and the 10 of Pentacles hang in abundance. If this card has shown up, take it as a sign. Financial abundance is right around the corner. This is a time of joy. Your dreams are coming true. I've got a dream. I've got a dream. Maybe I need to watch that movie, specifically that scene. What are their dreams? You know, doesn't one of those big, large men dream of finding love? So very interesting, because we also have, I feel the need to stand up and show you these just so that I know you can see them. We have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse, which is coming out of isolation. It's feeling connected to someone here. So whatever this dream is, I feel is leading you, guiding you to this person, whoever that is for you. Maybe you know them, maybe you don't. Two cards. We've got two. We've got the 3 of Cups, finding your soul people, finding your family, your soul family, I mean. I'm hearing, like, for some reason when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking of Anne of Green Gables. There's a scene in Anne of Green Gables where, yes, there's a scene with Anne in a boat, but there's also a scene where there's like a picnic and there's people in boats. Anyway, 3 of Cups is about celebrations. It's about friendship. I'm getting, like, lately I've been getting this strong energy of when you are focused on your soul path, that's when the people you're meant to align with come in. That was on the bottom of the deck. Spirit told me to leave it there. And look, we've got the Page of Swords in reverse, and I just think that's really symbolic that not taking that leap of faith, if you look at this card, not taking that leap of faith, I imagine this person taking a leap of faith into the unknown and turning into that phoenix. I just saw 2222 on the timer as I was saying that. And I feel like the fact that it's in reverse, like I said, I didn't know if I was going to take reversals. But I feel like the fact that it's in reverse here is that I feel like that's a sign that this jump that you're afraid to take is what's holding, you know, friends, like meeting friends back, welcoming love into your life perhaps. I feel like you're meant to be on a path where these people are meant to align with you. You just have to make that jump. Interesting. Interesting. The other thing I'm hearing is that 8 of Cups energy. This can talk about the Page of Swords in reverse, can talk about clashing perspectives. So you may find as you grow and evolve and ascend, that you start clashing with the friends you once had, and perhaps some of those are being left behind. Remember that Eight of Cups card. I just saw 2332 on the timer as well, if anybody's looking up their angel numbers. So we have the Composer, which is the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups is all about following your dream. It's all about believing in the impossible. I'm seeing the Blue Moon card. We just had a blue moon. Believe in the impossible. And, you know, I think it's very... Your dreams are at your fingertips here. Does that or does that not remind you of Aladdin and the genie? And I was talking about Aladdin. Anyway. I'm getting this message, like, intuitively that your dreams can manifest, you know, into reality if you let them, if you believe in them, if you put the energy in. And then we have the Hermit here. So, you know, finding your soul path, believing in your dream. What is your soul path telling you is your dream? I want to read the Hermit. The Hermit and the Cosmic Tree, searching within, self-exploration, reaffirming solitude. The Hermit and the Cosmic Tree represent solitude for inner truth. The Hermit does not retreat into the woods without the expectation of self-exploration. When the vision of the Cosmic Tree comes to the Hermit, we are met with the understanding of the greatness of existence. If you cannot find the answers you have been looking for, look within. Beautiful. I saw a video this morning. Someone was talking about hiking. It was like a TikTok where this guy was saying, you want to go hiking? Nobody wants to go? Take yourself. And it was all this footage of him going hiking, tenting by himself, exploring by himself. You know, that guy has it right. The only one holding him back was himself. You don't necessarily need a buddy. Although it's great to have a buddy. Anyway, I'm feeling called to look at the Hermit in my tarot book here. Hang on. Contemplating next steps in career. Hello. Searching for purpose in your career. I truly believe that there's so many light workers out there that don't know that they're light workers, that have tapped in to, you know, what their soul purpose is. Do you ever come across someone that you come across them in their workplace and you're like, that person is meant to do this, you know, like that is their gift. There's so many ways to be a light worker. Less focus on material things. The Hermit, less focus on material things. More focus on what you already do have and showing gratitude for it. I love it. Anyway. And then Page of Cups. I'm going to look in my book. I'm hearing reading rainbow. Oh dear. Finding a creative outlook at work, daydreams about career paths. So if you're at your day job and you're having daydreams about doing something else, what is that something else? You're having visions of another timeline, my friend. And again, any little voice that pops in that says, oh, you could never do that. Get out of here. Get out of my way. Let's get two more, Spirit. Two more. We have the King of Swords. I feel like that's very symbolic of... Interesting. I feel like that's very symbolic of... We have the Wheel of Fortune. Which one do I want to take? I'm going to take... Temperance came out. And we have Wheel of Fortune on the bottom. Interesting. I'm just going to look in my book for a minute in regards to soul path energy. The Wheel of Fortune Luck and career opportunities presenting themselves. We have temperance. Success from patience and moderation, steady and slow progress. So, and that's, you know, I was telling my friend that I took it very slow when I started doing this. I started with laying down cards and putting text on the screen. And then I started laying down cards and speaking to text so that the text that I was putting on the readings were my actual, like me actually speaking, even though I took the sound of my voice away. And then I started doing very short scripted talking ones where it was like, what's coming towards you? And then it would be like a very scripted me talking about what was coming towards you in like a very small paragraph. Baby steps. And again, be patient with yourself. Take it slowly. Rome wasn't built in a day. And everybody evolves at different paces. So try not to, you know, there's meaning behind the saying, fake it till you make it. And I know that when I say that, that triggers people, but it's the truth. Even in the workout I'm doing, during the workout, the person doing the workout says affirmations like that. Fake it till you make it, you know, do it until it feels right. Or like, for me, it's about repetition creates a habit as well. But anyway, fake it till you make it is what I'm hearing. And then we have death and rebirth. You have some very important cards here. Death and rebirth. Job transitions, career transitions, leaving unfulfilling job. The best thing you can do is to leave an unfulfilling job. I've left unfulfilling jobs even though it financially screwed me over. Because they just got it got to the point where I had to. This was before I was a photographer. But yeah, job transition, career transition, leaving unfulfilling career. You know, transitioning from a job where you feel like, I don't know why I'm seeing call center, but like I'm seeing all these people kind of like cattle or sheep. And stepping into, like, leaving an environment like that, like an office job, let's say. And then focusing on your own soul path here with the death card. Anyway. Death and rebirth. One major phase in your life is ending and a new one is about to begin. And we have the King of Swords. So at the beginning we went from the Page of Swords, and at the end we have the King of Swords. So you could, you know, you could evolve into a leader. You could evolve into someone that you guide people through your word, through your spoken word, King of Swords. Also using your intellect, and intellect comes in many different shapes and forms. Society will have you believe that intellect is only book smarts when that's not true. All of us are intellectual in our own ways, you know? Anyway. Let's look at King of Swords in this book. Challenge to do your best. That's not the one I want. Let's look at this one. The King of Swords. The King of, I guess, birds. Clarity of purpose. So it feels to me like after you transition from that past job or whatever into your new one, you're going to have clarity of your soul purpose. And that's what I was talking about in that video where that guy was talking about putting all that time and energy into what he wanted to create while still doing his full-time job. And that gave him clarity of what his purpose truly was, because he was feeling more fulfilled over what he was creating that wasn't paying him or anything. He was feeling more fulfillment from that than the job that was giving him the paycheck. And he kept putting energy into that, and that turned into long-term success for him. You know, he's got millions of subscribers. Anyway, clarity of purpose, realistic expectations. We also talked about that with the healing energy. Ingenuity, empowered. The King of Swords conducts a kaleidoscope of butterflies as the elementalist conducts the world around her. Beautiful. So that's the elementalist. And that, are those butterflies? Interesting. I don't think I ever realized that those were butterflies. This is a card of ingenuity and comes up when you have mastered the environment around you. You are truly empowered and have a clarity of purpose. Continue to follow your truth. And that's your last card. So that's what waits for you. Right now, you may be that page afraid to take the leap, feeling like you're just a student, like you're just a noob. I just heard you're just a noob. But take that leap. Again, I went through that. Spirit pushed me into it. I would have waited longer if it hadn't been for Spirit like taking everything away from me and forcing me to put myself online. But you know, you don't have to know it all. You can learn as you go. Fake it till you make it, baby. I don't know why I said that. I just heard it, so I said it. Oh, I know what I want to get for you guys. I got number cards. I ordered these cards so long ago from another company, and they never came. Do you know what they sent me? They sent me, oh, that's interesting. They sent me a luggage tag. It was a Mickey Mouse luggage tag that they sent me. That's a very interesting story. So I thought I was getting this deck, and when I opened this parcel, it was a luggage tag that was a Mickey Mouse luggage tag. And I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with that? Like, where are my cards? And sometimes our manifestations don't appear the way we thought they would. But I had been hesitating because of that money energy that I talked about with you guys. I had been hesitating to take my kids to Florida, which is something that it's an investment. I invested in doing it in 2019, and then COVID hit and the world shut down, and we never took them again. And I never traveled because, like I was talking about earlier with financial attitudes in my household, we were never, like my sister and I, our views on money very like very effed up. And one of the first things to happen when I kind of pulled my energy away from my family was my dad has a very, like I said, an attitude towards people who do anything for themselves, because he doesn't do anything for himself. I feel sad, you know? Anyway, so the first thing he did was like, I know I'm like soul tribing it right now, but I was asking, when I walked away from my family, it was because I was asking for support and help and love for them to spend time with their grandkids. And their reaction was to start telling me everything I ever did wrong and how dare I want love and support. And my dad sent me a message like, oh, poor Kelly needs support. Kelly, who can afford to take her kids to Disneyland, poor Kelly needs support. Like, it was very condescending. So anytime after that I thought about taking my kids to Florida, I was like, nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. Because my dad's had lived in me, and I felt like I was wrong to do that. Like, I was like, that would be selfish of me to, you know, take my kids on a vacation. Anyway, I was mulling this over and I was waiting for these frickin' cards to come. And what came? A Disney, a Disney luggage tag, like so random. And it was actually after, it was that day when that showed up that I had this realization that I was letting that low vibrational energy that I grew up with stopping me from, living my life. So I said to my sister, let's plan a trip to Florida, with the kids. Let's take them before they're too old. Not too old, but you know what I mean? Like, you want to take your kids when they're a little young. Not too young, but anyway. I don't even know what my point was. The spirit works in magical ways, and I was just being called to show gratitude for that moment. And guess what? I never reached out to that company and said, where are my cards? Like, maybe I should have. But I ended up taking that luggage tag, deciding to book a vacation for my kids. And then I took that luggage tag and I gave it to one of my kids when I surprised them with a suitcase that we were going to Florida. So I got my money's worth, So anyway, I ended up ordering myself this deck again. It's a numbers deck. I know that was a really long message. But seriously, I don't know what the point of it was. So let's get you some number cards. Let's see what comes out. We have 111, intuition. I thought it was Dusty. It's an angel. Intuition, moderation, patience, flow, clarity, joy, movement, self-realization, taking action. Hello. Unconditional love. Time to... This is magic. Time to implement. I'm so excited I can't even read. Long cherished ideas. You're on the right track towards making your dreams and visions a reality. The right people and circumstances and resources are being sent your way. The Three of Cups. Remember the Two of Cups and the Three of Cups and the Page of Swords in reverse. Once you move that Page of Swords around into the upright and you take that leap, they're being sent to you. Happiness and new opportunities are at hand. Trust in the process. Yay! So, now when you see 111, remember that card. In fact, if you're someone that sees 111 and doesn't think about what it means, screenshot that. And then every time you see 111, look at that. Because that's the message your guides are trying to give to you. What? 1011. Woo! Hope, new beginning, fresh start, lifestyle, purpose, spiritual awakening. This is a call to action to move forward. The sooner you get going, the sooner you will accomplish what you set out to do. And listen to my throat closing over. Don't hold your truth back, my friends. Those with patience will eventually reap the rewards of their perseverance. Don't give up. 111. I have to take this. We have new beginnings, great chance, opportunity, courage, courage, accomplishment. Do you see how my brain works? I was trying to combine multiple words there. Endings, conclusions, big love. Look out for an opportunity that might be a game changer. You are completing something major. It feels good to level up, huh? Close the old chapter, a new adventure will unravel. And that Page of Swords card makes me think of chapters. And I just said, turn that Page of Swords around, close that chapter of self-doubt, of whatever you're closing it on, and take that leap of faith, my friends. What's happening here? We have 0110. Go after what you want. Unique, destiny, inspiration, talent, gifts, appreciation, and gratitude. You're blessed with talents and skills that make it easy for you to stand out from the crowd. Embrace what makes you different. That's your path to success. Your dreams will come true soon. Beautiful. Well then, how lovely. That was so confirming. I just got so excited. All right, let's get you some affirmation cards. I choose a bright future now. And what was I just talking about? Choosing timelines. You have multiple doors available to you, multiple timelines that you could tap into. The moment I start to change, the moment I am willing to bring good into my life, the universe responds in kind. I love it. What do you need to hear, my friend? What do you need to hear? I let my light shine. This little light. I am wonderful. I rejoice in the truth of my being. I accept it as so and let it be. Oh, I just love this. Shine your little lights. I look for things to be thankful for. Gratitude. I have a perpetual attitude of gratitude. I am content to be who and what I am. Whatever you need is within you. And once you realize that, that's when you tap into the ability to manifest things. And hey, I haven't called myself the C word. Not that one. This whole reading. That's cosmic. Every day I choose to send healing, loving, healing energy to the planet. What I do with my mind does make a difference. And what was I talking about? The mind is a powerful healing tool. I'm just going to get one more. One more. I am in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. I see myself healthy, whole, and living in a society where it is safe for me to be who I am and to love. Are you kidding me? Love others. That deck just flew out of my hands, and I need to know why. There's 2 cards on the floor that fell from that, so I feel like you need to see them. Magic. That deck just fell, and these are the only 2 cards that came out. I am not restricted by limiting beliefs. And what was I talking about? I am gentle, kind, and comforting to my inner child as we uncover and release the old negative messages from family and society. Truth. Truth. I know and affirm that my body is a friendly place to live. I have respect for my body and I treat it well. I affirm positive things about my body and I tell it I love it often. How many times do you tell yourself that you love yourself? Can I just ask you that? Because I bet you it's going to shock you that you don't say it at all. Like when you think about it, when you're in love with someone or when you have a child or a dog, whatever, you're always telling them that you love them. You know, it's a form of, it's a form of affection. How many times do you tell yourself that you love yourself? How many times do you wake up and say, I love you? Like, how many times before you go to bed do you tell yourself, I love you. Thanks for being with me today. You're pretty awesome. I bet you it's not that much. It's something that I've started doing when I go to bed. I tell myself that I love myself. Sometimes in my gratitude journal, when I don't have anything else to be grateful for, or I can't feel anything else to be grateful for, I turn it onto myself. I'm grateful for me. I'm grateful for my ability to breathe. I'm grateful for my ability to be able to work out because I know not everybody can physically work out. Anyway, honestly, I'm hearing the song, Have I Told You Lately That I Love You? But about yourself. Have you told yourself that you love yourself lately? Anyway, I don't know why I feel like crying. Let's just get a few more affirmations. I almost said for your badass self. I don't know why. I almost said, let's get some more affirmations for your badass self. Anything can be achieved with a good, healthy dose of courage. Woo! Magic. That's a different deck. Do you see how all these cards are aligning? You are incredible. Don't you forget it. Have I told you lately that I love you? Have I told you lately that I care? Have you? You are incredible. And you don't need another human being to tell you that. You need to discover that within yourself. Grace could be someone's name. Embrace the glorious mess that you are. Ugh, I love this. Doubt whom you will, but never doubt yourself. Truth. Don't doubt yourself. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'm sending my soul tribe lots of love and light, and I will talk to you people soon. I will catch you on the flip side. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but anyway, I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Tell yourself that you love yourself. Isn't it awkward? Just, you know what? I'm here. Just do it now. Nobody's around. Just think of yourself and say, I love you. In fact, if you want to practice that whole, I don't know how to pronounce it. It starts with an H and it translates to, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. So maybe you need to say that to yourself. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Anyway. I love you, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.